Hello, this is LearnWithMePickleball, and I'm back with another match review. I'm kind of excited for this one because I reached out to this guy. He has a small YouTube channel called Pickle Li, and he has some cool, fun, and engaging content. And I reached out to him to see if I could do a match review for him. And this is kind of the perfect level for me to do a match review because it's 4.0 plus, and so they have a lot of really good shot making ability. But there's going to be some shot selection stuff that they can improve. So I'm hoping that I can look through this and find some helpful tips to give. So let's dive into this.
You got it. Get up! That was very close. Thanks. Dickhead.
I think this is just a fun, casual rec play game, but they're all good players and it's a good match. Okay, this is a good
Oh,
point for me to talk about. Here I'm a little surprised he decided to hit a drop on this because he's off his up like behind the baseline quite a bit, and this is just a tough drop to hit, especially with two hands.
yep.
And so that's why I mean it was a good drop, but I'm a little surprised that he decided to drop that.
Good.
And then the other shot selection thing in this point is that with this short ball here, when he's on the run, I would not speed that up. And the guy in white got a pretty easy high ball there. And then I think that's why this team in black lost
That
that
was good.
point.
That's too good.
That's just a high drop. That's okay.
See, playing the win is actually disgusting. Yeah, zeros. You got it. You got it. Oh!
It's a spray of a drive. That's okay.
No!
Okay, something I can talk about in this is that this is a fine return, but the guy hitting the drive here makes a good decision to hit a drive and be aggressive. But I think this partner in white is too late to move up. He should have been
Dude, dude.
watching his partner and then going up sooner once he recognized that he was going to drive. But you can see, like, as this team in black is hitting this guy in white is still moving, and that's why he got caught there and
No!
hit the ball out. So I think he should have turned to recognize that his partner was driving and ran up a little bit sooner and then make sure that he was planted for that fifth shot.
Are you? Yeah.
Okay, this is
Come on.
a good thing to point out as well in this point. I think there's too much attacking in the transition zone in this match from what I've seen when I watched a bit of it. So like this is a somewhat high ball, but this guy is on the run here and it's dropping pretty low. And so he's hitting from low to high, and the other guy's gonna easily able to put that down. So I would have probably reset that ball instead of attacking it
Come on.
for the guy in the tan hat here. It's a good drive, good draw, nice. Okay, that was pretty casual. But again, this is kind of low here. I guess this guy in white's paddle was down, but he pretty easily seemed to hit this counter.
God.
And then you probably
That
wait,
might.
did he miss?
God
Okay.
damn.
I think the opposing team that was getting like attacked should have probably gone a little bit lower and tried to just get the ball down there. Because I don't think Pickle Li should have been attacking that ball there.
Get my dick. Good shot.
Try and punish people for attacking in the
Almost
transition.
zero. Ice.
It's a great drop. Yeah.
Good drop. Good
It's
drop.
impressive to be able to hit that good of a drop of this because again, he's off the baseline and it's probably easier to drive this ball, but that's just a beautiful drop.
Good drop. Good drop. 2-0.
Yeah.
Let's try. Yeah, I know.
That was just a good return that set them up for that point. That was
Thank
nice.
you. Alright. You got it. Good shot.
Okay.
I think it's over.
This is the good drive, but I think the guy in black here, Pickle Li, should have shifted over, and I think you can watch his paddle is down when the guy was hitting this drive. You see, paddle is down, and I probably would have moved over to cover the line. You kind of have to protect your partner that's moving in a bit, but I think you really had to stretch to hit this back end. So he probably should have shifted a bit.
That was so low.
And I think this guy in white throughout this match likes to go down the line quite a bit with his drives.
Out.
Yep, so this is the same thing again. The guy in white, I think, like recognizes that this is the short third shot for his partner. But you can see like he's, I think, too far back, and then is running when he's hitting this shot here. And it was also too low. I probably would have reset that.
That's honestly such a high shot.
Um, but I think it's good to be looking for the shake and bake, but I think he's just running a little bit too late, and that's why he's missing these.
22.
Are you?
Oh!
Okay, a helpful thing here is that this is a really good return from the guy in tan and the tan hat. But then with this would be the fourth shot here. He's off his back foot here, and you can kind of see, I'm going to point it out later in the match. He likes to, when he gets like pulled back, he lifts his left leg and is kind of off balance, and you don't really want to be doing that. And because this drop is so good, I think I would just concede the kitchen and try and hit a short hop and just let them come in. But he's trying to kind of take the maximum amount of time that he has with it, but then is like he's scooping it and it's way behind him, and so that they probably easily should have lost this point. But the guy in navy over there just missed the put away.
How did he miss that? Oh, that's a classic. My bad.
And I checked the dupers of this group, and I think this guy was like a 4-4. And that's not super surprising that fourth shot transition will be tough, and that's kind of a big thing that can help you rise to the next level is learning how to handle the tough third shots and honestly just conceding, hitting a short hop, and letting the team come in.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
ATP. Oh. The boy's hungry.
Are you?
Yep. Wow.
Great shot.
That's a good shot.
Boy's hungry.
3-1.
Yeah.
Are you? Ay, ay, ay.
Zephyr's.
Are
Um,
you? Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, I think it's a little surprising how often this team closest to us is trying to hit two-hand like topspin drops because that's just a really hard shot. I think Pickle Li has it down pretty well, but for this guy in the tan hat, I would probably just try and hit a like a reset with one hand is going to be easier to the middle on this shot because I think he was
Yeah.
on the run here and he's trying to pull it cross court, and I think that
Are you?
in my opinion the two-handed topspin backhand is a very aggressive shot, and he was just not in a good position to be aggressive with that, and
Ay, ay,
flipped
ay.
his wrist too much as well. And Guy in Navy should not miss that shot.
What a change.
4-1.
Nice drive.
Good
Oh
shot.
yeah.
That's just a good block from the guy in white.
Four. All right. Take it home. 4-4.
Miss serve. That's okay.
This guy is choking.
Okay, take it home, please. Fuck.
Ay. Ay. Are you?
Bad. These shots are definitely
Yeah.
poachable.
What happened there?
Ay. Ay. Are you?
Bad. These shots
I
are
think
definitely
only
poachable.
tip for this drop for the guy in white is he's leaning kind of back on this.
Are you?
I would just try and be like having your weight boom moving forward for that drop
Yeah, take it.
because he had a nice drive and got the shorter one that he wanted. So I just probably would have moved in a little bit sooner and had his weight leaning forward for that drop.
Right. Stay low.
Good choice to drive. Good drop.
Ay.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Focus on.
That's a good point.
One more.
Here you go, Win.
4-1. Are you? Follow. Are you? Follow through.
Yeah,
All right, take
Pickle
it
Li
home.
gave a good
No
tip
more.
there to follow through.
No more pee
He
breaks.
kind of stopped his swing short, and you really got to commit to the drive.
Golly.
What happened here?
Golly. Golly, dude. You got it. Dude, what? Get up. Oh, my bad. Yeah. Heads up.
Drive that. Good.
Out.
Was that going out? Probably.
Out.
Yeah. I think either way,
Came in.
this guy in tan should not be swinging on that backhand because that's just a really hard shot. And I think he should let Pickle Li, this guy in the black hat here, hit this either way because it's going to be his forehand. And it looks like Pickle Li had decided to let it go out. So that's
I
okay.
think it came in.
I think it might have been in.
But let your partner crash if they have the forehand there. That was going to be like a crazy backhand from back there. Good reset. Oof. Okay, good.
Whoa.
Okay. So this is just a shot selection error from the guy in tan. He is pretty far back here, and he's not in even good position. Like the ball is already somewhat behind him. Um, and so this is just not the right time to try and speed up.
Whoa.
Okay, green
And so
flag.
that's why you missed that in the net.
I didn't think I was
And
getting that
like
far.
I can sometimes catch myself like in my rec games like this, like, oh, like I'm not in a good position, they won't expect me to speed up. And then like I think even because I've told myself that I'm just gonna miss the shot either way. But try and be more diligent and not speed up those balls when you're quite a bit far behind the kitchen line.
One pull.
It's just gonna be easier for them to hit it to your feet.
Okay. Here we go.
That's a nice drive.
Shoot for it.
That's a good leave.
I didn't think so. Go ahead, CC. Good serve. Got it.
Oi.
Oh.
I think on this guy in white's backhand, he's a little too tense. That's a good like shoulder turn, but he looks pretty tense there, and so just try and focus on using your hips and let it flow. But the two and backhand is a tough shot. Another miss serve, that's okay.
All right, 4-2.
Yep, so this is what I was talking about again earlier. It's surprising that Pickle Lee is deciding to drop this ball because he's behind the baseline. So I would drive this just to get an easier fish shot. And the guy's swinging hard on that. That's a crazy reset they'll go from the guy in tan.
Wow.
Great drop.
That's so lazy.
Ball, please.
Thank you.
What happened for the guy in navy? Yeah. Yep, so he should have moved his feet. He just reached out his arm, and
Wow.
I think he even
That's
said
so
on the
lazy.
mic like that was so lazy,
Oh.
so he knows that.
Thank you.
He's probably just shocked to have it come back that well. Yep, so helpful net court ish here, and I guess that's high, but he's pretty outstretched here. I don't know. To be honest, I'd probably even back up
Golly.
because that ball wasn't moving super fast and just try and hit it off the bounce there. Um,
All right,
or
ready?
at least really try and have your weight moving forward, but he was kind of on one leg there, and it was just goofy point.
Oh.
Okay, what happened here? This guy in tan, I think his paddle was down, which is why he was late to this. Oh no, his paddle's up and good. Oh, he drops it there for some reason. Um, so he's late there, and then he recognizes that he's in trouble. He backs up. Um,
Oh.
I think
No, it's okay.
I don't know. The shot selection for the guy in white here is a tough decision. It's not something I've fully solved yet because you can kind of just rip it at them hard and hope for the best, and that's kind of more modern pickleball. But it probably would have been safer to hit a drop here. You can pull it spinning with your backhand, probably cross court. Um,
Oh,
and I think because he has the advantage so much, because he got a really easy shot there, he should have definitely slowed down this drive. Like, you do not want to be missing that. I think he missed maybe wide and long there.
2-5. Ooh.
Oi.
Oof. Why wasn't the guy in white was in a better position there? Because he starts moving sooner, like I was talking about earlier, when he recognizes that this is short for the shake and bake. Um,
Ooh.
Oi.
and he had a nice roll there, he just kind of missed. But
All right, 4-2.
You chilling, you
All right,
chilling.
we'll break the curse. Wait,
What
actually,
curse?
it's a 5-2? 5-2. We already broke the curse. All you.
No curse, no curse.
I think this guy in 10 got excited because he was short and probably wanted the drive. I don't really like
Ready
how
for the curse.
tall or how high he brought up his paddle here.
All you.
I'd probably just try and keep that lower. And then I think what I would personally do with this shot is hit it really spinny to the guy in white because he's slow to move forward on this. And so if you can kind of hit like a hybrid third shot and get it to his backhand because he's even a lefty, his backhand's gonna be on the sideline over there. And then I would probably be trying to jump to Ernie after doing that, is what I personally would have done with this shot. But I think he kind of just got a little overwhelmed because it's like this is a bad return here, and he wants to drive this, but then doesn't
No
really
curse, no
commit to
curse.
doing either. And I think the hybrid would have is what I would have done there. A spinny shot to the guy in white's backhand.
All you.
Shot. So these are tough shots to this guy in tan's backhand. And it would have been easier for him to pull these to the middle versus trying to go all the way back cross court. And even tried to get away from the guy that was being aggressive. But yeah, you don't want to be pulling that ball back cross court. You want to just go straight ahead of you, to the middle. And also, like a just an Ernie tip thing here is when the guy in tan is outstretched over here in his back end, with his head down here. I think the guy in navy should have shifted over, because the ball's gonna should come back to the middle, and the guy in white probably should have jumped to Ernie here. On, maybe even on both of these, just to try and put more pressure on the guy in tan.
That was disgusting.
So you can kind of close off the court there because the guy in tan shouldn't, and the tan hat should not be pulling that all the way back across court.
That's so lazy.
You thought I was going to speed up, didn't
Yeah. You always speed those up. 2-5.
All you. All you.
Wow,
Oh, you're there.
Oh,
Just out,
that's close.
just
That's
out.
close.
That was just out, just out.
that was just chaotic. I don't want to say anything about that point.
3-5. You got it.
All you.
It's in, baby. Come on. Oh, shit.
Wow.
No! What am I
That's
doing?
so sad.
Baby, come on.
Okay.
All you.
I think this one was kind of low to speed up, and that's why
You got it.
it went off the net here.
All you.
I probably would not be speeding that ball up.
It's in,
And then the
baby.
guy in white has his lefty forehand there, but because of the X and cross court, he should have let the other guy take his forehand in the middle.
Come on. Oh, shit.
Good overhead, good overhead, good reset. And then yeah, just missed
No!
drop
Baby,
shot.
come on.
You're getting stemmed.
We're doing stupid
To be
shit.
honest, because
No!
this was a good reset from Pickle Li here, I probably wouldn't have drop shot this because the guy in 10, you can see he's anticipating this,
No!
and he probably would have even gotten there. So that's just the wrong shot there to hit a drop shot. I think even if he would have made it in, they still would have gotten it. And so drop shotting usually isn't the right shot unless you're really confident they're not going to get there, and it's kind of just high risk, um, somewhat of
Oh,
good
baby,
reward.
why am I doing
Scammer
that?
gets stemmed.
We're doing stupid shit.
Yeah, he commented they're doing
Yeah.
stupid stuff. That's Guy in white should move his feet here and not just outstretch his paddle for those that don't know. That's a good drop.
The
So I think part of the confusion here is that they're unstacked for kind of the first time, I think. I haven't been paying too much attention, but this is the lefty righty on the far side. And so it's going to be tough for who takes this middle ball. But even though they're unstacked, he should still be following this ball with his paddle, like paddle shadowing. But his paddle instead is down here, so that's a pretty easy shot for the guy in tan to hit down the middle there.
edge hit speed up.
My bad.
Edge hit off speed speed up.
That could be me too.
3. Ay.
It's a good drive.
Yeah, I didn't think it was getting over either. Good drive.
7-3. Are you? Oh, what? Another
Dude, my
one.
bad.
Okay, I want to commend the guy in the tan hat for his shot selection here. I like this drop here. Again, I don't know why he's hitting this um, with his leg up like this. Kind of just makes it more difficult. But he hits a good drop. And then this is this right shot to reset to the middle here. And then this is a good two-hand back into the middle. Gets an easier one off the net, and that's smart to pull it over there. And then I like that he's being aggressive when they're unstacked like this, with his two-hand back in down the middle there, again, because it worked the last time.
Oh,
And this guy in white should have shifted after hitting this ball here. His paddle's way next to the sideline there. He should have shifted with his feet and his paddle to be ready for that middle ball there.
another one.
But that's really good of the
Another
guy in
one.
the tan hat to take
I'll help
advantage
you
of
out.
that.
I'll help you out.
Good shot. 8-3.
Here, Willie.
In.
Good gets. Oh, this goes. What happened to start the chaos here? Just a high reset. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it.
Heads up, buddy.
Oof.
Just out. Just out.
That was
Uh,
a good leave from them. I'm surprised they left that.
Great.
good shot.
I don't know why Pickle Li was trying to hit, or like I think he just got caught kind of in a chicken wing here, but definitely should. You can see this is his backhand side. He should definitely just be hitting a forehand here.
Good shot.
But that was a good drive.
All right, here we go.
I think just trying to track the ball best you can, like when it's coming on the drive, and trying to stick the forehand like that. That was better.
Oh my!
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh my!
Ay, ay, ay.
Hey, what the hell is that? Okay,
Mr.
Good
Turn.
shot.
you got it.
Yeah, this is a very good drive. Yeah.
That was disgusting. Nice, nice,
Nice.
nice, nice. You? Yeah.
But yeah, you can see Pickle Lee shakes his head here. He knows he should have gotten this. I think just trying to emphasize getting this ball down versus trying to keep it deep to them.
Nice, nice.
Just try and get it to their feet and
Yeah.
probably condense the swing a bit. Because if you watch his forehand here, that's a pretty big swing. His paddle's way over here. So just try and keep it a little bit more compact because then he has to bring his paddle way back. Um, and
Nice,
then
nice, nice, nice.
gets caught in the back end.
Yep. You got it.
That's a better backhand drive from the guy in white.
Are you?
Nice roll.
Are you?
Woohoo!
So here's what I was talking again with the guy in tan hitting off his back foot, with his leg up like this. I think the guys on the far side should have recognized that he was off his back foot here and probably crashed in a little bit sooner. And then it's shocking that this guy in Navy decides to take that ball in the middle because he has to pull it across his body and he has a lefty partner that the ball is going straight to. I'm talking
Are you?
about on this shot, he probably shouldn't be coming over to take that ball and pull it back cross court.
Woohoo!
That's a good leave there at the end. But I think like the guy in Navy should have been closing in on the guy in the tan hat, and the guy in white should have been hitting that transition shot.
You got it. Woo! Good run,
Guy
White.
in white likes that
Alright,
down the line
good run.
drive.
Now the serious mode activate.
Um, just something to note about driving down the line. It's lower percentage because the net is higher. I think it's 34 inches in the middle and 36 in the outside. So it's not super smart for this guy in white to be trying this down the line drive so often. I probably try it like I don't even know, once every few games or once a game maybe. I hit the majority of my drives to the person that's moving in or just down the middle is pretty safe.
Serious mode activate. Serious mode activate. Yep.
Smart drive, good reset.
Nice. Good spot.
What happened?
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice. Good spot.
I think this guy in the tan hat lets the ball get behind him too often. And then it's kind of like a flippy wrist shot there. You really want to keep your wrist still and just try and short hop that ball, um, than trying to be super wristy.
Nice. Good spot. Oh my god. Eight. Ay, ay,
Oh,
ay.
I think Pickle Li should have really committed to hitting a drive here instead of hitting a drop, because he's way off his back foot. If you look here, way behind the baseline,
Ay, ay,
oh,
ay.
and guy in white should not be missing that. So just a tip for the shot that the guy in white hit missed. He's hitting down on this ball, and I think he should have dropped his paddle head. He's a lefty. He should have dropped his paddle head slightly to get under the ball for some topspin there.
Ay, ay,
oh.
ay. It is painful. Ay,
It's a
ay,
good
ay.
reset.
Mm.
Again, I think the two in backhand is
Are you?
just the wrong choice here.
Mm.
Because the two in backhand's a tough shot,
Had
and
to
you
be.
don't really need extra topspin there. You don't want to be aggressive when you're in the transition zone. Um, and so I would just do that with one hand is going to be easier.
Damn, selling.
And this match is getting close here.
Are you? Are you?
Yep, again, this is the guy in tan
Are
hitting
you?
on his forehand with his left leg up again, which is why he missed that. I think he wants to stay lower to the ball and not just put himself off balance for no reason. It's a good serve. Nice roll. What happened? Ball in court.
Sorry. She just kept going. Got it. Oh, bottom line. Damn. It's told the future right there. 10-9. Are you? Wow.
Just on this last point here, this is a good drop again. Guy in tan is off his back foot. And so I think he should have pulled this, like make sure you get it away from the person that's putting pressure on you straight ahead, and tried to just dink it cross court basically.
Wow.
That's why I got caught there.
Good game. GG, GG.
But yeah, this was a really fun match to watch. I apologize if they watch this and think I was really critical, but I wanted to try and point out some things that I thought were helpful. And I hope that there was something that wasn't super obvious that I pointed out. And these are all really good pickleball players. And it looks like they're having fun playing pickleball. So, yeah, thank you for watching.